like one of my favorite stories, and I didn't think it was going to be one of my favorite stories. Speaking of being a columnist, I didn't want to cover this game. Ohio State and Michigan was playing the same day that Harvard and Yale played. And so that's called, here in New England, that's called the game.
The game.
But the game right. For me is exactly. Ohio State, Michigan.
Yeah.
So my boss, Don Squire, said, no, you got to cover the game. And I tried to get out of it. I couldn't. But in that game, Harvard quarterback was Ryan Fitzpatrick. It was at Yale. They beat them. Great game, great performance from Fitzpatrick. So I talked with him after the game, wrote a story. And not only was he appreciative and gracious, but his grandfather sent me a handwritten letter. Grandfather in Arizona sent me a handwritten letter like a week later saying, thank you for writing about Ryan. So great family, great guy, but right decision. And I think that's where the controversy is. Everybody likes Ryan Fitzpatrick. Oh, I'm getting your attention now. I see you shifting in your seat a little bit.
No, I just appreciate how you got there. You're such a
everybody likes him.
Communicator.
Everybody likes him. But this is the right decision, Mike. Got to do it.
It's got nothing to do with it. Respectfully, great story, got nothing to do with it. All it actually shows is just how old both you and Ryan Fitzpatrick are. He's 37 years old. He's been on 9 teams. He has seen it all and done it all.
Yeah.
When they drafted Tua Tagovailoa with the 5th overall pick, as he said, he knew it was if not when, but not now. Not when you've won the last 2 games 67-17. Not when Ryan Fitzpatrick is completing 73% of his passes over the last 2 games. Michael, I am so happy to hear, and more than that, Michael, I am so happy that he, instead of towing the company line, is articulating that this does not sit well with him, because it for damn sure didn't sit well with me yesterday, and I imagine it doesn't sit well with a lot of people in that locker room.
Okay, I appreciate. No, now look, couple things. So, hey, how can they make this move if they just won their last 2 games? They won their last game over the New York Jets, 24-0.
It's not fair.
Okay, they won their last game over the Jets, Mike.
All right, well, okay, the 49ers before that. The 49ers before that.
Very impressive win.
That one too?
But for you and Ryan Fitzpatrick, you especially, Ryan Fitzpatrick, I understand, it's his job. So you don't want to be messing around with anybody's job. Don't tell them, hey, it's time to go. Nobody wants to hear that. But for you to look at it and say, not now, well, it doesn't really matter what happened the last game if it's true. If it's true, and it's a big if, because I'm the one saying yesterday, did they come from ownership? But with a little time to sleep on it, I don't think it came from ownership.
I
did too.
And I believe
on the same page.
I believe it absolutely comes from Stephen Ross.
With a little time to sleep on it, I don't think this is coming from ownership. I think this is coming from Brian Flores. If you believe Flores by saying he's improved in practice and his accuracy has improved and he's really got the respect of his teammates, and there are some anonymous teammates who probably don't want to offend their guy, Ryan Fitzpatrick, because as I said, everybody likes Ryan, but they've said anonymously he's been very impressive. But let me tell you, this day happened, I don't know what day, what's the official day of the draft? Whatever it was, May something, April something, I don't know what it was. He was the 2nd quarterback taken. He was taken 5th overall by the Miami Dolphins. You don't draft a guy at number 5 and expect him to sit for an entire season, especially...
Then start him day one.
No,
why didn't they start him from the start of the season? No, the answer is yes. Because everything you're saying, Michael Holley, is about Tua. And that's okay. But just say that.
Right.
You know how you said about everybody coming back, in this pandemic to play football? Just say it's about the money. Just say it's about the quarterback. Just say it's about you looking for an heir apparent all this time since Dan Marino. You're looking for a face of your franchise at the quarterback position. Just say that you were moved by Tua taking that picture at the 15-yard line in his first game since his injury at Alabama. Just say that you were motivated by the cheers in the crowd and everybody chanting Tua's name at the end of a blowout against the Jets. But don't tell me this is a football decision, because it's not. Because if this were because what you're saying then, by your rationale, Michael Holley, is that Tua Tagovailoa is an upgrade right now over Ryan Fitzpatrick. And a guy completing 73% of his passes the last couple of games, and a guy that's been playing the way he has through 6 games this season, I find that awfully hard to believe. I find that awfully hard to believe. Okay, I'm not saying he's set the world on fire.
Come
But
on,
what you're
Mike.
doing is you're setting Tua Tagovailoa. You're setting Tua Tagovailoa up to have to perform as well, if not better, than Ryan Fitzpatrick out the gate. You know why? Because this game is supposed to be a meritocracy. And I get the politics of the pick. I get the politics of the fifth overall pick. Everybody knew this was happening. We knew he was a placeholder. But he was doing a damn good job.
No.
And you're telling everybody else in this organization that this is not about giving us the best chance to win on Sunday. This is about developing a quarterback. And if that's the case, fine. Just say it.
Okay, listen. Once again, I can understand why you would call him the placeholder. I don't get why Ryan Fitzpatrick called him that in a joking way. He's the, I'm the placeholder. No. If you really feel like you're the placeholder, then you shouldn't be surprised. If you really feel like you're the placeholder, you know what a placeholder...
The surprise is that, Michael, hold on. Let me interrupt you, sorry. The timing, can we agree on this? It's the timing. Maybe that's the disconnect between us. I'm not saying this was not going to happen eventually or wasn't supposed to happen at some point, but just answer me this question. Why now? When Fitzpatrick becomes Ryan Fitzpatrick again. He's playing well. They're winning. Why now is the problem that people like me are having?
Okay. Do you read the Bible, Mike? I'm just kidding. I just wanted to. I thought that line the other day.
There's this passage that I like to have memorized. Ezekiel. So what's the path of the righteous man that's being forsaken by the inequities of the selfish and the tyrannies of evil men, Michael?
Yeah.
Explain it.
No, that's not it. I just wanted to give you that line. But I do want to tell you, since you mentioned how far I go back and Ryan Fitzpatrick goes back, and he's, 37, and I was writing about him when he was in college, so I'm a little bit older than Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you a story. Let me tell you a story. And I have on my feed another Tua Marino comparison. The year, Mike, was 1983. The Miami Dolphins drafted a quarterback in the first round.
I remember.
Pick number 27.
Yes.
Pick number 27. So Dan Marino, the great Dan Marino, there he is.
Yeah.
Look at him, looking good in the pocket.
You got to tell me about Dan Marino's history.
Quick release, yelling at his receivers. I love it. Okay, anyway. But Dan Marino, pick number 27. Did he get the job immediately? No, he didn't. He was behind a quarterback named David Woodley. David Woodley had quarterbacked them, and I'm going to use your air quotes here, he had quarterbacked them to the Super Bowl the year before. The fact is, he wasn't very good then. They got to the Super Bowl. David Woodley was their quarterback.
Strike short in season,
but he wasn't very good.
Yeah.
He started the season. He had been subbed in, but starting around game 3, game 4. Game 5, Mike, of the 1983 season, Dan Marino takes over as a starter, loses that game to Buffalo, then wins 9 of his next 10 games.
And proceeded to have, at the time, it was the gold standard for rookie quarterbacks in NFL history for the longest time. Statistically, as most of Dan Marino's records did, it stood as the finest season by a rookie quarterback. He was the most impressive rookie quarterback in history for the next, 20, 30 years.
20 touchdown passes. 20 touchdown passes.
6 interceptions.
That's what he had.
6 interceptions.
11 games.
And then the next year, he threw 48 touchdowns. And then the year after that, not 85, 86, he threw 44. Yes, my favorite quarterback.
Okay, my point to you is, look, they took him at 27, and they were going to play him because of his impressive practice habits, and when he went into the game, it gave him a jolt.
Yeah.
Obviously, Tua Tagovailoa hasn't gone into any games to give them a jolt. He just had a little bit of time, a couple of snaps. Mm-hmm. But if he has been impressive in practice and they took him 5th overall, you've got to know, Ryan Fitzpatrick, you went to one of the finest universities in the land, Harvard. You don't get in there by being a dummy. So you put 2 and 2 together, it really is 4.
Listen,
they're coming for you.
The writing has always been on the wall, but I understand reading it and weeping if you're Ryan Fitzpatrick when you're saying, wait a second, it's not like I was struggling, okay? If we're here to win football games, it is hard, difficult, but I'm going to get to your point in a second, but difficult to imagine him not giving them the best chance to win right now. But okay, I will play your game because I have already played out this scenario in my head even before you took us down memory lane. And remember, Dan Marino, when people used to argue Marino, Montana, I was a Marino guy because I didn't think he had the same supporting cast as Montana. I was always a Marino guy. So you preach to the choir on that, Reverend. I just want to say this.
Although he was never better than Montana. But anyway, go ahead. Anyway, go ahead. I'm listening.
If Tua Tagovailoa comes out and lights it up, that will not change my mind about the timing of this move. It is very possible, Michael Holley, very possible. And it's not just Marino. You're staying in that franchise. There are plenty of situations, countless situations throughout NFL history, where the veteran quarterback, the veteran transition guy, the veteran bridge quarterback struggles, even if he knows the situation. Kurt Warner, okay, I'll give you a more recent one. Kurt Warner started the season in place of Eli Manning, Eli's rookie year. And I believe the Giants were something like 5-4 or something like that in 2004. This is before Kurt Warner. This is between the Rams and the Cardinals, where Kurt Warner concluded his Hall of Fame career with a resurgence in the desert. He was the bridge guy.
You said the Giants were like 5-4 or something like that?
Something like that. Is that something like that?
They take that right now. They say, hey, I'll sign up for that right now. 5-4.
Something like that.
Great.
But I remember how pissed Kurt Warner was. All these veteran quarterbacks, none of them want to pass the baton. Drew Bledsoe to Tony Romo. Go down the lists. Okay?
Yeah.
I feel you on that. And even, going back to, our friendship, 2001, it was a different set of circumstances. But Bledsoe didn't think it was fair that Belichick was sticking with Brady. So
and he still doesn't. He still doesn't.
Exactly. Tua Tagovailoa could definitely, I know, he could come out and he could set the world on fire and he could do his thing and he could be better and he could take off. Or he could be just as good or a notch below Fitzpatrick and learn on the job and then accelerate his learning curve for the future. The future starts now. I get all of that. All I'm simply saying is that same decision could have been made week 1 and that same decision could have been made in a week or 2. To make it now,
because week 1,
when you are rolling,
week 1 he wasn't ready.
I don't understand it.
I do. Week 1 he wasn't ready. So I can understand where Ryan Fitzpatrick would feel like you used me. And they did, because you're an employee. And so you're an employee as a guy, right? All right.
Hey, there you go. Listen, no argument with that. You're absolutely right.
That's right.
That's above
you're
this is above your pay grade, Playboy.
Above your pay grade. So we like that we have you on the roster. You will get us so far. And what we're gambling on is that we have this young, dynamic talent, and he is going to take us somewhere that you can't. Yeah. Like, you can take us to the playoffs. You can, especially this year. You can take us to the playoffs in the AFC East.
This guy is going to take us to the promised land. Yeah.
We might be able to win the AFC East, but we can't win in the playoffs with you because you haven't proven that.
Yeah.
But
no question.
Tua might not be able to win a playoff game this year, but next year he might be able to take us to the AFC Championship game. And the year after that, we may be going to the Super Bowl, like Dan Marino did once. Anyway,
it's just been so long since they've won.
I like the boldness of it.
It is bold.
I like the bold move.
Excuse me. I understand the logic of it. I do. I understand the argument for it. I understand all the rationale. It just feels like there are political forces beyond just the pick at play when it comes to getting him in now. When you watch with Justin Herbert, like I said yesterday, with Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow are doing right now, it's like, hey, this was the plan all along. What they didn't account for, what they perhaps didn't account for, because usually when people make a move, they make it during the bye week. Give them extra time to prep. Give them extra time with the ones, the extra first team reps. So this was circled on their calendar. What they didn't account for is Fitz playing as well and then being 3-3.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.